Welcome to Gorilla Sports Off Court. I am your host for today, Liv Moods, and this is presented by Trusted American Mortgage. Trusted American salary-based mortgage consultants want to help you get into a better interest rate and lower your monthly payments. So head to trustedamerican.com to see how they can help you save some money today.
Hello and welcome in.
Please do not leave your luggage unattended on the station.
Welcome to the show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into another Gorilla Sports Off Court. We have lots to discuss, one of which is the title of the show. Is Nikola Jokic the most disrespected MVP ever? My gosh, you would have thought that I insulted everybody's grandmothers yesterday. I tweeted this question out, and a lot of people agreed. Yes, he is the most disrespected MVP ever. The funniest part about all of that, and we'll get into it more in a little bit, is I asked a question. I didn't make a statement. I asked a question. A very simple no, he's not. It's Steve Nash, or no, one of his teammates is actually the most disrespected MVP would have sufficed. I am not going to buy into the Joel Embiid nonsense. Miss me with that. If you're a 76ers fan, just remove yourselves. But we will get into it in a little bit. Just remember, it was a question. You don't need to get all upset, hot and bothered over it. Simple question. Hit me with a no, hit me with a yes. Give me your reasoning why. But we will dive into that in just a bit. The Nuggets did have a game last night that was ultimately, in typical Denver Nuggets fashion, a little too close for comfort, right? We know the Denver Nuggets play this style of basketball. They take their foot off the gas. They start slow, which I do think is a product of not having Russell Westbrook in the starting lineup. We know how he increases the pace for this Denver Nuggets team. So when you don't have him as a starter, there is a bit of a slower start for this team. First quarter, not impressed. Actually, first half, I wasn't impressed last night, but they did find a little bit of rhythm to start the second quarter and get it off on a good note. Went into halftime in a deficit. Third quarter, kind of rough again. And then that fourth quarter, they started off strong and ended up winning that game. Pretty great performances all around here. And it's hopefully, again, I'm not going to hold my breath here, but we're trending in a good direction. This Nuggets team, 21 games left. 15 of those 21 games are against teams that are at or above 500. It's not going to get easier for the Denver Nuggets. So while, yes, I'm very happy they were able to beat the Kings, who I'm not going to sugarcoat and downplay and act like they're not a great team. They've got a lot of offensive firepower. We got to see Zach LaVine doing his typical Zach LaVine things, DeMar DeRozan making tough shots. And we also got to hear from the Denver Nuggets following the game on their thoughts on the game, on the matchup, maybe some of their feedback on their personal performances or the team's performance. We're going to start it off strong with Jamal Murray, who you guys know I was exceptionally tough on to start the year, and I do not take that back, and I do not apologize for being hard on Jamal Murray. Why? He's a max contract player, and he deserves a lot of respect, but respect is also earned. And I think there's a lot of people that struggle to give Jamal Murray the respect that he feels he deserves, but with that comes consistency. We're starting to see Jamal Murray get into that mode where he gets that look in his eyes, and you know he's getting ready to cook, and I want that more consistently. We've definitely seen so much more improvement in his consistency offensively for this Denver Nuggets team than we did at the beginning of the season. So let's hear from Jamal Murray, who spoke after last night's game on his thoughts on how the Nuggets played against the Sacramento Kings last night. Let's check it out.
Well, Coach said he felt it was more about defense than the way they were guarding. What was your perspective on that? And I know sometimes I feel like you don't necessarily love when we ask you questions about the offense when Jokic isn't playing well and they're fronting him. Just kind of curious about your perspective.
Well, I mean, the whole thing can't be about big fella. You got 15 guys on the team, you know what I'm saying? So that's where my mindset is. But again, I don't ever think it's the offense. I think it's the defense. And we picked it up, and then we were able to translate that to some points, and just kind of get over that 10, 8, 13-point hump, whatever it was. Kind of kept going back and forth, but it took more than a couple stops to really implement ourselves in the game. You know what I'm saying, on the defense end. So my biggest thing is just come out ready to play with that same kind of mindset. I'm just all about building better habits for the playoffs. I think like 16 of our 20 games are playoff opponents or something like that. So just I just want to start strong and not have to work ourselves in the game to kind of take them serious. Not that we weren't. It's just for us. but yeah, we got defense in the game, and we're able to kind of sneak away.
What made those minutes with Zeke and Peyton, and then the second unit minutes ended first or beginning of second quarter and beginning of the fourth quarter? What made this so effective for them?
I forget I don't know, but to your question, no, Zeke is ready to play. Dude's a professional. He's up there shooting right now. And so I kind of know how life goes. You know, Zeke didn't play for a very long time, and then as soon as he implemented back in the lineup, he's freaking hooping, and not just putting the ball in the hoop. We don't need him to just put the ball in the hoop. Dude's playing defense. He's rebounding. He's talking. He's playing physical. He's jumping. He's blocking shots. He's running the floor. He's not complaining. I could go on. Dude's just in a great rhythm right now. So I'm really happy for him, and hope he can keep making the most of this opportunity.
Coach, you guys are going to see this coverage often, like where they switch a smaller guy onto the court just to try to cram the paint as much as possible. I don't want you to give away your secrets, but like, what are some general ideas that
Hit the open guy.
you're just going to try to?
Both. There's lots of different things. I don't want to get, like you said, don't want to get into it, but I mean, I have no problem hitting my guys to shoot the ball. Like, if they're going to leave guys for warm-up shots, I don't care who it is. It's a warm-up shot. Eventually, they're going to hit a couple, and that's going to change the game. You know what I'm saying? So I feel confident in my guys, first off, to shoot the ball, anybody that comes in the game. And for Yoke, like, yeah, next question.
Noticing sometimes CB, like you're kicking the ball out to him, you're kicking the ball out to him, and he was hesitating on the shot a little bit at the beginning, but he's still shot 3 of 6. How hard? You've always been hard on him, just in terms of making sure to let it fly in the cases. Is that just one of the ways to kind of break a scene like this?
I mean, it's kind of I don't want to say he's in his head, but it forces him sometimes to be in his head if a guy's not going to guard him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to tell him, just shoot it. Like, bro, like, we're working this all offense to get an open shot. If we have an open shot at the beginning of the offense, just shoot it. So I think he's just done a good job of just picking his spots and not letting, a couple possessions get to him or whatever. And like, you've seen his improvement from year to year. And I'm not worried about CB. I think it's just, like I said, just subtle reminders where he goes into the game playing with confidence and not having to, like, work ourselves into the game. You know what I'm saying? Let's just go from the get-go. So yeah. Man, I don't think I've ever shot over 10, bro. Well, my fault. My fault. My bad. Jesus Christ. Any emphasis? Nah, just this is a fucking anomaly in the season for me, so. I think it's just energy. I feel his energy. He feels mine. And not just today. There's games where he's, told me to just go get the ball or vice versa, and it's just there's no fight. You know what I'm saying? We both want to win, and it's fun. It's fun. I get to play with somebody who has that kind of energy, loves to win, loves to compete. I have full trust in him. And just like I said, it's fun to play that kind of brand of basketball and playing up and down, and we're just kind of yelling, getting at each other, and just hyping each other up. Like, that's fun. So I feel like he really kickstarted the aggression for us. Whether he was missing or making, he was the one that kind of initiated us to be physical on the offensive end. So I don't know how much he notices, but he's got a lot of guys on the team that watch him and study him and appreciate everything he's done in this league.
Sorry, one more. DeMar is so crafty. He only 4 times he got to the line tonight. Only 4 free throws, twice off the line.
I mean, he's hitting everything though.
Yeah, but what was the key to kind of making sure that you add on to that with he's so good at pump fakes and stuff?
I mean, sometimes you just gotta live with it. To be honest with you, I mean, he's shooting. I'm not discrediting, but he's shooting tough twos a lot. Like, I know he's making them, but it's like as a defense, it's like, I mean, he's like I said, you kind of force him into certain shots, and I'm sure teams say the same thing about me or Yoke or whoever, just kind of make him take tough shots, and to his credit, he was making them. So, like I said, I think just a couple of stints that we got on defense helped us out and helped us get the win. And I think Zeke got a block. Russ had a good contest. It was just a couple of times where we kind of paid a little bit more attention to him. And I'm not saying that changed anything, but I'm just glad we kind of got that defense in the game. So, but yeah, he's tough. He's tough. Cool.
I really, really appreciated hearing Jamal talk about the fact that they've got to figure out how to win without Nikola Jokic. We know this is a problem that the Nuggets have struggled with for years and years and years. The better that Nikola Jokic is playing, and he is playing at such a high level, the more I think that becomes the game plan. Coach Malone's strategy, his largest and probably most consistent strategy that I get to see every time they play is put Jokic in and we'll figure it out. But it can't always be about putting Jokic in and having him figure it out. As we get deeper into this season, and hopefully the Nuggets get deeper into the playoffs, there are going to be teams like the Lakers did that find a way to stop Nikola Jokic. That is going to be the priority by every defense across the league when they are matching up against the Denver Nuggets. And now the entire league has seen what you can do and how one-dimensional you can make this Nuggets team when you find an answer for Nikola Jokic. The Lakers did it. It was on full display, and now every team knows that is the game plan. So it's going to force this Nuggets team to take uncomfortable shots. It's going to force them to rely on the three-point shot a little bit more, a shot that they haven't been consistently training. I'm sure they're training their three-point shooting, but that's not the offense that they've been running all season long. That's not where this team feels the most comfortable. So they're going to force to be uncomfortable, and you have to have guys that respond. Speaking of guys that respond, Zeke Naji is one of those guys. I had a post-game live show last night where I said this is a Zeke Naji public apology. His contract has never made sense. It's actually been infuriating to watch his contract just stand there, sucking money out of this organization, and he wasn't being utilized. But who does that fall on? If Calvin Booth was so consistently or persistently pursuing Zeke Naji and holding on to Zeke Naji, and the rest of us couldn't figure out why, because we hadn't seen Zeke Naji prove himself because he wasn't given the opportunity to. Yes, there were minutes that we watched him play where maybe you weren't impressed, but I think Zeke is the type of player that plays best when he's confident. We're seeing his confidence build the more that he steps out on the floor, the more that he gets valuable minutes. And sadly, this Nuggets team has dealt with a lot of injuries this season. But the positive side of that is that it's allowed some of the guys in our second unit to show what they're capable of and prove that there is more depth on this team than maybe what we initially thought. There are guys in this second unit that can make an impact. And Zeke Naji is not only making an impact offensively, he's good for some clutch threes. He really takes tough shots. He hustles, he rebounds, but defensively, he's also making an impact. So his contract is slowly starting to make a whole lot more sense to me. And I'm starting to see why this organization wanted to hold on to him for so long. But again, does that now open up a bigger conversation, which is why did it take most of your starters dealing with injuries for us to see what Zeke Naji is capable of? Why did it take that in order for Coach Malone to allow Zeke Naji to develop as the player that he clearly can be? So that's a conversation we'll get into in 1 minute. But one more conversation or person that we need to hear from is, of course, Russell Westbrook. I want to talk about a really quick, cute moment. One of his super fans traveled 6,000 miles, I believe, from Japan to watch Russell Westbrook, who is his favorite player. Russell Westbrook had a great moment with this fan after the game, gave him a signed jersey. It was super cool to see. And Russell Westbrook, we know, can be very, very important to the success of this Nuggets team. He can also be important to the non-success of this Nuggets team. I think when Russ does too much, it can actually be detrimental to the Denver Nuggets. But we're starting to see, now that he's back from injury, him getting into a more confident and steady rhythm here with this Nuggets team, which we absolutely need. So let's hear Russell Westbrook's thoughts now on the game last night and beating the Sacramento Kings. Let's check it out.
This has happened to you a lot in your career, but what goes through your mind when you find out that someone flew all the way from South Korea just to watch you do it?
I mean, I'm extremely blessed and thankful, and the support of my fans always, because they see basketball as something that gives them confidence, gives them a sense of happiness, and I'm always really grateful to be able to use this game to be able to help to inspire people globally. Like I've always said, since I've been in this league, I feel like that is my duty. That is why I'm in this position, to use this game to help inspire other people in any pathway of their lives. And I'm always grateful to see fans that come from all over the world to watch me and support me. I mean, it's very motivating. It's part of my job, and if I'm on the floor, to make the game easy for him. And if that's cutting, if that's making shots, if that's screening, if that's whatever, I'm willing to do whatever it is that's needed. And teams has had a little bit of success, so that's what they're going to go to. But we'll see how it plays out.
Do you feel like teams are guarding you differently at this point in the year than the start of the year with off the Jokic stuff?
I don't know. I just got back, so I don't know, man.
You missed those games going into the break. What has kind of the reacclimation process been like? Has it felt pretty smooth physically?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Defensively, coaches talk about that being a major talking point, just especially after the first quarter. And what allowed you guys to get back into the game defensively? What were some of the key points that you're able to do there?
Just not letting them walk around, get things easily, getting back in transition, boxing out, making them shoot tough shots. They got a lot of tough shot makers over there, and our job is to make it difficult for them. And I thought we did a good job of that in the third, and then ending the third and leading into the fourth quarter.
What did you guys find in that second half, especially to start the fourth quarter?
I thought our physicality picked up, rebound and run. We played with some pace. We attacked the basket, which was an adjustment on our end, and I thought it was good for us, attacking the paint, getting the paint, generating open shots, and that was beneficial for us.
What do you see from a confidence standpoint kind of during this stretch?
I see Zeke all the time working, and I'm always happy to see someone else do well. And he's been working, has some up and downs, but I'm happy that he's found his way, finding ways to impact the game. And I thought he's been doing a good job, since he's been given the opportunity to be able to play.
Russ, when teams they've got 5 guys that are touching the paint. How important is it to kind of balance between proving that coverage wrong by hitting threes versus continuing to attack and continuing to try to find those slash things?
I mean, honestly, I don't, I know everybody likes to make a big deal out of it, but what are we 3-point percentage on the year? Where are we as a team?
It's like 4th or 5th.
You sure?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, what is the question? Like, that's what I'm always interested in seeing. Like, what's the, obviously, some people only watch the TV game, so they watch the Boston game, and everybody has a comment. But throughout the year, consistently, I didn't hear any of this talk before. Now all of a sudden, it's like, oh, we lose to the Lakers, and everybody's like, oh, I can't even cuss, but everybody's like losing their mind. And like personally, internally, like we don't panic, play the right way. The best player on the court in the world is Nikola Jokic, so I turn it over 20 times trying to pass on the ball. I don't really care. It's the reason why they got 5 people to paint. If I'm the other team, I'll try to do that too. It's our job as a supporting cast to make sure we help and make the game easy for him. Get stops, run the transition, because we're the best transition team in the league. So when we get stops, you can't load up then. So our defense got to help our offense. And it's not just about shooting threes. I think that the game is a lot happening in the game. And I think, people outside of the game of basketball don't truly understand that it's not just about walk up, he's playing off, shoot the 3. Like, that's not a real thing. Like, watch the game, you understand, like, how the game goes, how people are guarding, why they're doing it, who they're doing it to. It's bigger than just 3-point percentage and 3-point shots.
Russ, as your career has continued outside of Oklahoma City, I'm curious why you were still committed in that community about the investment in the soccer stadium.
Yeah, I mean, that place raised me. I'm from LA to the core, but when I got there, those people believed in me. They took me in. They took my family in, my friends. It's home for me, and I've always been connected to the city, and always found ways to stay connected through whether it's investments or whether it's through, philanthropy work, and I'll continue doing that. And having a soccer team there, obviously, anything that's happening in Oklahoma City for the future and for the growth of Oklahoma City, I will be a part of. So.
Russ, you've been on a lot of teams with extremely high expectations. For a team like this one that also has high expectations, what's the goal in these final 20 games in terms of getting ready?
One, staying healthy. I think 2 is just making sure that we're clicking and we are moving in the right direction. And honestly, just been together. I think a lot of times towards the end of the year, pressure seems to seek in, outside noise seems to seek in because of expectations, as you mentioned, and those conversations start to happen and everybody keeps asking those questions. But internally, it's our job to stay together, stay focused on the goal at hand, and take one day and one game at a time.
Jamal had mentioned your energy, and he said he wasn't sure if you knew this, but there's a lot of guys in that locker room that watch you.
Yep.
Watch the way you play, watch the way you carry yourself, that sort of thing. How much pride and how much responsibility do you take in that?
A lot. It's part of my game. It's something that I've been blessed with to be able to. It's always, and also it's like a 50-50 for me because sometimes if I'm really pissed, it can affect that way too. So I've really worked on that since I've been in the league of controlling and understanding how important it is, my energy, my effort, making sure that I take care of my body to make sure I'm there to be able to support my teammates. Even the times I was out, it was important for me to make sure I'm here to be supportive if I'm not obviously rehabbing and coming back. But that's a huge part of leadership, a huge part of my responsibility as I've gotten older in this league, and I take pride in that. And I got to make sure that each and every night I bring that, regardless of what's going on with me, but make sure I can help bring the other guys along. Yeah.
So it sounds like there is an overwhelming feeling that the Nuggets are not entirely stressed at all or panicked at all about their three-point shooting, which is fine. I have said many times on my shows that this team does not need to live and die by the three like everybody else. They know how to score. Their offense works the way that they play their offense. And that's kind of what Russell Westbrook just alluded to. We play our game. We don't panic. We stay patient. We play the right way. Now, the only issue I have around three-point shooting as it pertains to this Denver Nuggets team is the way in which that they defend three-point shooting. Because yes, while this Nuggets team does not have to live and die by the three like everybody else has started to, they do need to defend the three, because that is where games can get very carried away very quickly, is if you are allowing your opponent to live and die by the three and you cannot defend it at all. So it's not that I don't have faith in this. I've actually said many, many times, this is a team that can shoot threes at a very high volume. I'm not worried about that. Unfortunately, they haven't committed to that offense enough for it to be consistent and reliable. So I don't feel confident in a 7-game series if it's a battle of threes that the Denver Nuggets can get it done, because I just haven't seen that enough. However, it's defending the three that I think is the largest concern. Honestly, as a Denver Nuggets fan and someone that covers and discusses this team often, it's really the defense right now that feels like the largest problem. I do think there is a world, I talked about this on Monday, that this Nuggets team is pacing themselves a little tiny bit, knowing that last season their exhaustion was one of the things that was the most detrimental to them. They've also dealt with injuries throughout the entire season. So I do think there is an element of, I don't want to call it complacency, although I do want the Denver Nuggets to understand it can read that way. If you are pacing yourself and you have this strategy of kind of coasting a little bit to preserve your energy, just understand how that reads. So while you guys may not be panicking, and of course, here's the best part about it, the Denver Nuggets don't have to care what we think, but that is, I think, where some fans have frustration or hit the panic button, is because that strategy can come off as complacency. And complacency is not a good thing to have at this point in the season. So there's got to be a tiny bit of understanding to the fans that maybe do hit the panic button, because they don't know that your complacency, that what reads to them as complacency is actually strategy. They don't know how calm you are behind the scenes. So it's very normal for fans who want to see their team win and want to see their team be successful get a little panicked when they don't feel like their team is giving full effort. So it's very understandable. Now, Russell Westbrook, who was somebody that came up a lot when I tweeted yesterday and said, is Jokic the most disrespected MVP ever? A lot of the comments referred to Steve Nash. A lot of the casuals referred to Joel Embiid. Miss me with that in my mentions, please. I'm begging. Giannis is a fair conversation to have, of course. And also, Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook came up a lot as a disrespected MVP, and I absolutely agree. But we just listened to who some people say is the most disrespected MVP in Russell Westbrook state that Nikola Jokic is the best basketball player in the world. I don't think he's just saying that because that's his teammate. I think players that even have to play against Nikola Jokic know this to be true. So in order for you to admit that Nikola Jokic is one, disrespected, but maybe the most disrespected ever, you also have to change your tone in how you speak about Nikola Jokic. There are still some people that exist that do not believe Nikola Jokic is the best player in the world. I can't argue with stupid. Oh, did I just call you stupid? Well, if the shoe fits, wear it. No, I'm not calling you stupid, but I think it is a very stupid mindset to not think that Nikola Jokic is the greatest player playing in the NBA right now. That is not to say LeBron James is not the GOAT. Currently, right now, what Nikola Jokic is doing is special. It's something that we have not seen. He plays the game in a very different way. He sees the game in a very different way. It is so hard for people to acknowledge what Nikola Jokic is. So we have to start there in order to talk about whether or not he's disrespected. Because I think the people that believe he's not the most disrespected MVP ever also just think he's an MVP. Some of the responses to that tweet that cracked me up the most were, disrespected, Liv? He's won 3 MVPs. No. He didn't win 3 MVPs. He earned 3 MVPs. Don't switch up now. Those were rightfully Nikola Jokic's awards, okay? So let's not pretend like he was gifted MVP awards. What are we talking about? This is not field day with a participation ribbon, okay? Nikola Jokic earned those MVPs, and still having earned 3 MVPs and winning a championship, the tone in which we talk about Nikola Jokic is just simply not enough. We do not give enough respect to this player for what he's doing. There are still people out there that believe he was given MVP awards. I can't argue with you if you think that. I cannot even have a conversation with you about this debate if you view those as he was given this award. No, he earned that award. So let's start there. The tone in which people talk about Nikola Jokic is for sure disrespectful. Media heads in the NBA that discuss Nikola Jokic don't give him nearly enough credit. I think Shaq had to backtrack on some of the disrespect that he threw Nikola Jokic's way when he didn't feel like Nikola Jokic earned his MVP last season. He had to do a little backpedaling there because I highly doubt he would have that same conversation with a Giannis on air, on national television. Hey, by the way, I don't think that this was rightfully your award, but congratulations. You would never see Shaquille O'Neal saying that to Giannis. You would never see him say it to SGA. And quite frankly, you wouldn't see the same type of conversations about LeBron James. And I understand LeBron James has been here and done this. I'm not comparing apples to oranges here. But what I'm saying is the tone in which we discuss Nikola Jokic for sure leans disrespectful. The lack of attention that we pay to the games that he plays and the numbers that he puts up, it's gotten to the point now where when he produces triple doubles, we're bored of it. That's not boring at all. He's just so good that he does it so consistently that it no longer makes you feel some type of way, but that doesn't take away from what he's doing. What I really meant in my tweet and why I was asking this question is, again, exposing plenty of people that I know for a fact do not watch Nikola Jokic play basketball, because the disrespect to me is in the officiating. There are very few players these days that get the whistle in their favor often. Nikola Jokic should be one of those players. Because every time I talk to a LeBron fanboy about how he gets to the line all the time and how the whistle is always in his favor, guess what the response is? He's earned it. So when are we going to get there with Nikola Jokic where he earns a better whistle and he gets the calls that he deserves? I've had people text me who are not Denver Nuggets fans that aren't even just frustrated with the fact that Nikola Jokic isn't getting to the line as much as somebody else. That's not what it is. We're not comparing how much or little he gets to the line. It's people that are truly watching him play that go, he's getting, they are beating him up and he's not getting a whistle. So it's not like I want him to get to the line more because he's on my favorite team and I just want him to have that right as a 3-time MVP. No, I want him to get the calls he deserves. That's the baseline. And then, yes, I do think there should be a little bit more leniency or maybe show a little bit more favoritism to the player that is playing the best basketball in the world right now. Is that too much to ask? Is that an outrageous thing to think that someone that is playing at a high level like Nikola Jokic gets the same princess treatment that LeBron James might? I get it. They're different players. LeBron James has done a lot of different things in his career that Nikola Jokic has not done yet. But my point is, the tone in which we discuss Nikola Jokic and the skill set that he has is like, well, he was given 3 MVP awards. No, he wasn't given those. He earned those. Well, that was a fluky championship. I don't see you keeping that same energy with the bubble championship. I certainly don't. So that's where the disrespect comes into play. We don't talk about him the same way we talk about other superstars in this league, and I just don't understand it. So much so that you have people out there saying that the face of the NBA cannot be a foreign player. Why the F not? Why not? If that is the guy that is playing at the highest level right now, let's say Nikola Jokic wins 3 more MVPs. He wins a finals MVP. The Nuggets win another championship. You're going to not give him the recognition of having the potential to be the face of the NBA because he's not American? That's weird. It feels like every opportunity people have to downplay what Nikola Jokic does or who he is as a player or minimize his skill set, they take it and they run with it. And I just don't understand it. You don't have to like the Denver Nuggets. You don't have to be rooting for the Denver Nuggets. But if you're a true basketball fan, you should just want to watch good basketball. And Jokic gives you that every time he's on the floor. Fight with the wall if you don't think so. You don't watch Nikola Jokic play basketball if you don't think every time he's on the floor, he's giving you good basketball. Yes, the Lakers found an answer to him. Congrats to them. It worked. But we've gotten so used to triple doubles just being the norm that they don't excite us anymore. I don't get that. I don't understand that. Yes, he's consistently been producing triple doubles for you for the last 3 seasons and beyond, but that doesn't make it less impressive at all. So that's where the disrespect comes into play. I understand Steve Nash still exists. Russell Westbrook still exists. Yes. But we are not talking about a player that is amongst other superstars playing at a very high level. We're talking about a player that is playing the best basketball in the world. That's what we're talking about. And we spend more time talking about other superstars than we do the player playing the best basketball in the world. That is what I don't understand. That is where I think it becomes disrespectful because I watch TNT Tuesday nights. I put it on my television screen and it looks like people are itching to stop talking about Jokic or the Denver Nuggets. They want to spend as little time discussing his talent as humanly possible. And I just don't get that. It just feels weird. It just feels weird. And it feels like I don't even want to call it hate because I refuse to believe that people hate Nikola Jokic. What could you possibly hate him for? Please enlighten me. This man does not have social media. He does not get into trouble. He pretty much just calls it like it is. He plays tough and hard every single night. Now, I understand. I, as a Denver Nuggets fan, get very frustrated by Nikola Jokic's defensive efforts some night. Just because you're playing the best basketball in the world does not mean you're going to be perfect day in and day out. That's not what I'm saying. But I just don't think that we talk enough about what Nikola Jokic is able to do on a consistent basis, night after night after night. We are getting this from him. So much so that we're kind of numb to it. It doesn't excite us anymore, but don't punish him for that. He's still doing his job. He's still producing triple doubles with his eyes closed. Don't punish him because he just does it so often that it doesn't have that new and fresh and exciting feeling when he does it. He's still doing it on a severely consistent basis. So that's where the disrespect, in my opinion, comes into play the most. It's not to say there are not other disrespected players out there. They do exist. Yes. Do I think that Giannis gets all the credit that he deserves? Absolutely not. Do I think Russell Westbrook gets the credit that he deserves? Absolutely not. So it's not downplaying how other players in this league are also being disrespected, but we're not just talking about a superstar that's good for 30 plus. We're talking about the guy that has been playing the best basketball in the world for almost 5 years now. And yet we still will find a way after he sweeps the Lakers to draw our attention towards LeBron's fake retirement. We knew damn well that man wasn't retiring. You took the bait, you fell for it, and you looked silly in the process. And we spent more time on national television discussing the fake retirement than we did what Nikola Jokic did in that series, sweeping the Lakers. If that's not disrespect, I don't know what is. So you can call it what you want. You can be frustrated by my tweet. That's fine. All I did was ask a question. And next time, it's probably just better to just answer it. And if you disagree with me, then fine, disagree with me. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. Okay? It was just a question. And if you think somebody else deserves more respect that's not getting it, let's open that can of worms and dive into that. But whether it's the whistle, whether it's the national media heads and the way that they discuss him, whether it's the way we discuss the MVP award and thinking and acting like it's some participation ribbon that we gave Jokic. No, Jokic earned that 3 times. Okay? That was earned. He was very clearly the front runner to win MVP in those 3 seasons, and it should have been 4. Unless you're one of the weirdos that think Embiid is the most disrespected MVP ever, which he absolutely isn't. So, yeah, that was really the whole reason I wanted to have the conversation, was to just open up a conversation about who's the most disrespected. And maybe, why is Jokic so disrespected? It doesn't make sense to me. This man keeps to himself. He doesn't bother anybody. He's got no social media to ruffle feathers. He goes home to his family. He plays the game he loves. He treats it like a job, and it drives y'all mad. And I just don't understand why. I just don't get it. So anyway, that's my little spiel there on Nikola Jokic and the fact that I feel like he's maybe the most disrespected ever. It's not just with the whistle and getting to the line. And somebody tweeted at me and was like, he's actually top 10 in getting to the line this year. Okay. But if you actually watched Jokic play, he should be top 1 getting to the line. Because the dude is getting beat up every single game without a whistle. So we're not doing the tit for tat crap. Let it go. I'm not saying he doesn't get to the line at all. That's not what I said. He doesn't get to the line enough for the way that defenders try to attack him. Because really, there's not a ton of answers, and there's not a dummies book for guarding Nikola Jokic. You just kind of have to figure it out. And it's not an easy task. Ask most of the players in this league. And shout out to the Lakers for their game plan, because they found a way, and they showed every other team in the league it is possible to stop this man. For years now, it has felt impossible to stop Nikola Jokic. We are now seeing, because of the Lakers, that it is possible to stop Nikola Jokic. So, to be that unstoppable for 5 years, you could have had 4 straight MVPs and probably deserved that. And now you're one of the front runners to win a 4th. Should have been 5th. You see how I did 5 because that's where my brain goes. And we talk so casually about this man. A 3-time MVP, could have been 4, won a championship, playing the best basketball in the world, not just right now, but literally for 5 years straight. And we talk about him like in a casual manner. What the F is that about? There's nothing casual about Nikola Jokic. So don't casually tell me he won 3 MVPs. I know he did. He didn't just win them, he earned them. It was pretty clear cut Nikola Jokic winning MVP. There was really not a ton of discussion around it. When you're that dominant, when you're playing at that much of a high level, we should not be casually discussing the fact that he won another MVP. No. Why did he win the MVP? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about what it took to get there. Let's talk about the fact that this man was drafted during a Taco Bell commercial. There were no standards or expectations set for what he was going to do in this league, and he's doing it 1,000 times better than anybody thought he would. So no, I don't like your casual tone when you discuss him. I think it's weird, and I do find it disrespectful. You need to talk about this man like he's the best player in the world, because news flash, he is. Thank you. Moving on. Okay. This show feels like therapy at times, and I feel much lighter and more happy now that I got that off my chest. So thank you for tuning in and listening to the same conversation I would probably have in my car driving on I-25 by myself. Yeah, I would. No one's stopping me from talking about the things I want to talk about. And so it's just more fun to do it with people. So thank you for joining me. And listen, I'm all about disagreeing. Everybody knows when they tune into my post-game live shows, we get people in the comment sections that very, very strongly disagree with what I'm saying. And we have healthy banter back and forth. But when I tweet a question, just answer it. And if you disagree with me, fine. I'll probably pull your tweet up and showcase it on the next show. But there's no need to get all hot and bothered about that sentence. Like, the fact that that sentence bothered people so much just shows we can't have a conversation about Nikola Jokic being the most disrespected if you don't think he's the best player in the world. If you don't think he's the best player in the world, the conversation ends there. I cannot have a conversation with you if that's the case. If you're not willing to recognize how great he is, we can't talk about how great the disrespect is as well. So I think that's where the conversation just slowly dies. Okay, that's all. Thank you guys for tuning in to another Guerrilla Sports Off Court. By the way, the Denver Nuggets are playing at home again tomorrow night against the Phoenix Suns, and our very own Brandon Kristoff will be at that game getting you guys coverage on all things Denver Nuggets. Listen, the Nuggets are taking some strides forward every single game. I love watching Zeke Naji on the floor. He is going to be an X factor for this Denver Nuggets team. I truly believe that. I want to see more out of him. Not more out of him, but more around the supporting cast, right? I don't want to just see a good game from Jamal here, a good game from Jokic here, a good game from Zeke Naji. Let's all get on the same page here. Let's all play good together, because that's what's going to make this team a contender and not a pretender. Their schedule does not get any easier. The West is a flipping bloodbath. From 1 to 8, the games in between, obviously, let's leave 1 out of it. OKC is just absolutely running with the 1 seed. But from 2 to 8, it is pretty tight. So it is going to be a bloodbath no matter how you look at it, no matter who the Nuggets do or don't face, whether or not the Nuggets are a playoff team making a deep playoff run. The West is tough. And the Nuggets, 21 games left, 15 of those are against teams that are at or above 500. It's not going to get easier. Jamal Murray and Russell Westbrook both said building and forming good habits. We've got to see that then translate against tough Western contenders. So that is my hope and prayer. We've got the Suns tomorrow night at home, and then the Nuggets go on the road for a bloodbath. The battle of the MVPs, Sunday, Monday, back-to-back nights in OKC, taking on one of the hottest teams in the NBA. It is going to be crazy. And we will keep you covered all weekend long on all things Denver Nuggets and NBA conversations. So sending you guys all my love on this Thursday. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Liv Moods. This has been another Guerrilla Sports Off Court presented by Trusted American Mortgage. They are salary-based mortgage consultants that want to help you save some money. Shout out to our friends over at Trusted American. You can head to their website at trustedamerican.com to see if they can get you a better interest rate and a lower monthly payment to help you save some money. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll catch you on probably Sunday for a post-game live reaction show, as well as a Monday off-court episode at 12:30 p.m. Mountain Time. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you very soon.